Alright guys, so this is day 5, I think, of me working up the new intraday SPY system, and I want to show you what our equity curve looks like so far. So this is what our equity curve looked like on bar by bar walk forwards, and we're still using market replay instead of bar by bar walk forwards, which is a bit more legit. And this time, at this stage, I'm entering results into my Bang and New spreadsheet, which does all the heavy lifting for me, which is really important, as you're going to see, as you probably saw from yesterday's video. The more that your spreadsheet can do, the less that you have to do, the less that you have to do in terms of thinking, the less mistakes you're going to make, the less mistakes you're going to make, the more money you're going to make. So after 4 days, we're up 6R. If I made 1 hour worth of mistake every day, that would be 2/3 of my profit gone, which obviously is going to completely destroy my long-term profitability, and it's going to make my drawdowns worse because you're going to make more mistakes in drawdowns. So the goal is always with system trading, get rid of those fucking mistakes. Fuck mistakes. I don't care about having a bad drawdown day. What really upsets me at a deep level is making mistakes. Alright, so that being said, I have market replay turned on in trading view up here. This is free software, you can use it, and I hit play, and we're going to see what the bar does. Okay, so this bar is going to pop up sometime soon. Alright, what do we have? We have a shooting star and a gap open and a fake out gap open. So we have a long setup. If it breaks above here, will be long. If it breaks below here, will be short. Okay, so I'm going to put that in my spreadsheet. Right, so I've got both of those in the spreadsheet. So we've got bar 1 for the sell, we've got a fake out gap open. Bar 2, we've got a failed shooting star buy. I've got 1 tick above the high and low of those candles in there, and then the spreadsheet has done the rest of it for me. Told me that my tick value is 68 ticks and my size is 2, and my 1 hour value is here and my 3 hour value is here. Alright, so let's keep going 1 bar. I'll hit play again and we'll see, did we get filled long, did we get filled short, or did we get filled neither? Dun, dun, dun. And we are short. So I'll enter in a fill. Okay, so you can see here, actually we get that wrong. 27,365 is the fill, 27,365 is the period 1, and I'll delete this. So this failed shooting star did not fill, so we just leave that blank. Again, that's wrong, 27,229. Ah, no, that's not right. It's a bit early in the morning for me here, so it's good to take a moment. So our close here is 272.27. Okay, now double checking, I have my spreadsheet correct. This is my entry fill. This is where I am on period 1. I have 3 bars to make 1 hour, which is 27,161, and that is 271.61, which is here. All right, and we do not have a buy setup. So let's see what happens with the next bar, and the next bar is a shooting star. So we have a failed shooting star buy setup. If we trigger this, if we are short, we keep our short and we just take the long. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on bar number 3. Okay, so you can see here that I've entered bar 3, a failed shooting star setup, and I've also added the close value for period 2 on my fake out gap open setup, which I'm currently short. Okay, so let's hit play, see what happens. Okay, So we have period 3, 1, 2, and 3. Do we exit? Actually, this is a retest variation concept here, an RTC, which is a cell setup which we could not take, but it resets the shot clock. So our shot clock is back to 1. So we do not exit on close. Instead, we ask ourselves, do we have a buy setup? So our open here is 272.15 and our close here is 272.17. So we have a potential buy setup if we break above here. So at bar 4, I'm going to put a gap open real body buy setup, and the 272.24 and 271.75. Okay, so you can see that I've got gap open real body here. That order is entered in the spreadsheet. We are still alive with our failed gap open setup, and we are at bar 1. So let's hit play again and see what happens. So if it goes above here, we will be long, and it does not go above. Okay, so we have bar 2. You remember that our 1R was 271.61, which is right here. So we've hit 1R, banked half the trade in 1R. At this point, we initiate a trailing stop with the remainder. So we place our stop above here. Hopefully it keeps going down a couple of bars, but I'm not very hopefully with that. Okay, now, do we have a buy setup? We have a traditional retest as opposed to a retest variation buy setup on here. We have a failed shooting star cell setup on here. We are at period 2, which is irrelevant now. So we have a buy setup if we're above here. So I'm going to put that in. That is bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bar 5 is retest, and it's a buy, and it is 271.78, 271.40. Okay, so you can see we have 38 tick, a bigger position size of 4, our 1R value is here, and our trailing stop for this is here. Alright, let's hit play, see what happens. If it breaks above here, we're going to be out of our short and long. Okay, it's out of our short. So let's do this one first. So what I need to work out at this point is, did it go down first and then up, or up first and then down? And to do that, I need to open up a 1 minute chart, which I'll just do in another window. Okay, so you can see an interesting thing has happened here. This is a 1 minute chart. So what's happened is it has gone up, stopped us out of our long, and then gone back down, stopped us out of our short, and then gone back down. Our stop loss was here, stopped us out of our short, so we'd be completely fucked, which is what happens with outside bars. So that is a 1R loss on a retest variation buy, which is 27216, and our size is 4, and the fill is 27292. Okay, so you can see that we have two seven two nine. No, 27140. Okay. So we have a 1R loss there. And let's put in our fill for we're back here. Sorry, the bar replay kept going while I was there. So let's put in our fill here, which is one tick above the high here, which makes it 271.77. So we have half the trade, which is 1 at 271.77, and we have half the trade at 1R, which we can see from here is 271.61. So that gives us a total of 0.88R for that one and minus 1R for that one. Okay, so for the day we're down about 0.2R. Now, the real question is, do we have a buy setup or do we have a sell setup? We have a sell setup if it breaks below the low because it's a failed shooting star. Do we have a fake out buy setup? We have a low of 271.36, and here we have a low of 271.35. So we have a spike low, we have the first bar to break that spike low. So if it breaks above here, we will be long. So I'll enter both orders in the sheet now. Okay, so I can already feel the start of mental fatigue kicking in. And if here we have a fake out hammer, which you can see here, buy setup if it breaks above here. We have a failed shooting star sell setup. If it breaks below here, we'll be short. The rest of those are filled in. Now let's move the bar forward since I fucked up the market replay. Sorry about that. Okay, so we are long. It's period 1. Our 1R from the spreadsheet is 273.12. Okay, so this is period 1. Okay, so I put in our period 1 fill into the spreadsheet here, which is 272.11, which is the close on the first bar. I put in a little line, which is the 1R. So we have 3 bars to make 1R. Now, the big question for us is, do we have a sell setup as well? So, clumsy. So the open here is 271.77. The close is 271.77. We do not have a gap open sell. We do not have a different type of sell. And let's move it 1 bar. Okay, period 2, we have a failed shooting star buy setup, which we cannot take, which would reset the stop clock. Do we have a sell setup? Our close here is 272.11. Our open is 272.06, which is below. So we do not have a buy setup. This is 1, 2. If it does not break the high, we'll be exiting on close because we haven't made 1R. Okay, it's broken the shot clock, so we reset it, which is irrelevant because we've hit partial profits here. So I will add in 1 at 272.60. Okay, so over here we have two exits. I put exit 1 out of the two contracts, 270, 260. Okay, now what do we do here? We move our stop to either break even or trailing stop, whichever one is better, and we ask ourselves, do we have a sell setup? We have this is the first bar to break a previous spike high. This is a daily high, so if it breaks this low, we will be short, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, bar 9. We have, okay, so we have the potential sell setup if we break the low of here, which would also get us out of our long. Unlikely to happen, and we've already banked partial profits. Okay, so at this point we have no sales set up because this one here, the high was 272.95, and this one, I was wrong. That was not a sell setup. I just eyeballed it. This one is the high is 272.96, and this is this high is 272.95. So this is the first bar to break the daily high, actually. So this is a potential sell setup, and a stop moves here on the remainder. Okay, so I will enter in that sell setup, which is bar 10. Okay, so I have entered in fake out sell 44 tick R value, position size 2. Let's move it forward one bar and see if it gets filled. We will be, okay, we are filled short, we are out of our long. So our long entry, our long exit on the second half of our position is 272.65. So you can see that this was the previous trade, and that gave us a total of 1.04 R for the trade, and our equity curve is 1.39 for the last couple of days, and we are short. Do we have a long setup? This is a retest variation concept, which would reset the shot clock. Okay, we are short. It's period 1. We do not have a buy setup because we've reset the shot clock, so this would be period 2, is back to period 1. Okay, so here, where is our 1R value? Our 1R value is so our 1R value is 272.21, which we have hit, which is right here. So our stop has to go, so we banked half the profits, and our stop has to go right there. Okay, so I'm going to enter that into our spreadsheet, which is 272.21. Okay, and our stop is 272.40. Do we have a buy setup? 2, 3, 1, 2. No, okay, the close here is 273.43, and the open is, the close is 272.37, and the open 272.35. Okay, so we have a gap open setup. So we have a gap open buy setup if that is triggered. So I will put that in, bar 11. Okay, so we are short with a tight stop, and we have this gap open real body buy setup if it breaks the high. We also have a failed shooting star sell setup, which we won't take because we're already short. Okay, so now once again I need to see what happened on a shorter time frame to see if this triggered this one first and then that one. So let me figure that out, but we're definitely stopped out of here, and we're stopped out of here for 272.41. So on our sell setup from the high here with a stop here, we exited half here and half here, and we have a total of 0.77R from that trade. Now let me see if I can work out what happened to the other one. Okay, so you can see that the timestamp here is 11:30, so 11:30 to 11:40, and I've got a 1 minute chart up here, and you can see what's happened is that it's gone up first, stopped us out of the short trade, it's got us into the long trade, then stopped us out of the long trade. So we've got a full 1R loss on that trade, which is and that will be a 272.12. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up there for the day because I'm feeling kind of fatigued. And what have we got? We've got a 0.88R win. We've got a 1R loss. We've got a 1.04R win. We've got a 0.77R win, and we've got a 1R loss. So we have kind of a crappy day, and let me enter all that in my. Okay, so I've put these results in the master sheet for now, and you can see this is what our equity curve looks like. So after, let's see if there's any stats here. So after 1, 2, 3, actually, let me just do this. So after 21 trades, we have 7.41R equals 7.41 on 21. So we have an expectancy of 0.35, which is pretty damn good. Our equity curve is looking like that. So let's just keep going, seeing how it is. Now, this is what it looks like when you're making very few mistakes and you're doing everything absolutely perfectly. We're going to gradually increase the complexity on this, and you'll see it adds an extra level of complexity when I have to actually enter the orders into a sim trading platform, and then it really, really ranks it up. Even when I'm trading for $50 a trade, which I don't care about, like it's a trivial amount of money, or even a couple of $100 a trade is a trivial amount of money. It really ramps up the difficulty. So we want to gradually get ourselves used to that, to the point where we're just completely desensitizing it. Now, if you're talking about trying to do this process yourself, you have to remember that I've probably taken 10,000 trades with this system in my life. So I'm already pretty good. I just haven't traded in 5 years. So I'm just, reawakening old skill. I'm not developing it from brand new. So if you were to get to this stage within 6 weeks of starting, of doing pretty intensive work, I'd say you're doing pretty well. So there you go. We'll be back.